A bill to allow for the recreational use of marijuana in the USVI is finally ready to begin the legislative process, said Senator Janelle Sarauw on Monday. In a press release, the senator acknowledged that, quote, "It has been a very cumbersome process to get these bills to where they are today," and she informed that the final draft of the bill had been released by legal counsel earlier this month. The legislation comes almost a year after Sarauw promised that the measure would be on the Senate floor by the end of 2021. Indeed, Senator Sarauw has held authorship of the draft legislation for several years. The issue was brought up during the gubernatorial debate between Sarauw's running mate, Senator Kurt Violet, and Governor Albert Bryan Jr.
The governor contends that the obstruction has hindered progress and much-needed revenue to the territory. During a Senate session on December 30th, 2020, lawmakers sought to pass the bill by overriding Senator Janelle Sarauw's authorship of it. You lobbied hard against this, and you said Senator Sarauw's work on the bill was, quote, almost complete. Those were your words in December 2020. In October 2021, Senator Sarauw said on the record that the recreational marijuana bill would be introduced before the end of 2021. She said, and I quote, "By the end of the year, I promise you, you'll have a bill on the floor." No bill is yet on the floor.
There never was a bill from Sarauw, and there is no bill now. She has delayed it. And what's even more offensive is that the good senator would never vote for the bill anyway.
Senator Sarauw has blamed the lack of adequate staff in the Senate's legal counsel office for the delay. Indeed, in correspondence dated July 29th of this year, Sarauw asked Senate counsel for an update on the measure, requesting that it be ready for August. "We will do everything possible to have it ready," counsel responded, thanking the senator for her patience. The length of time it has taken the senator to bring the draft legislation to the floor has seemingly led to friction between her and Senate President Donna Fred Gregory, who is unhappy that other legislators had yet to see the bill. Quote, "Senator Sarauw never shared the bill with us," Fred Gregory told consortium journalists, despite the legislature having paid $13,000 to a vendor that assisted with drafting the measure at Sarauw's request. An email between the two spoke of an agreement from October 2021 that the entire body would meet to review and provide feedback and input on the proposed legislation. Now that the hefty 71-page document is ready for scrutiny by the legislative committees with jurisdiction, Senator Fred Gregory has indicated that the expansive legislation may not be up for a vote until the 35th legislature is sworn in next January, and likened the recreational cannabis bill to the recently passed Government Employees Retirement System Securitization Bill, which was preceded by the creation of subcommittees that helped shape the measure in a way that considered and addressed all concerns. "It's a very impactful measure," Fred Gregory said, noting that senators had still not seen the bill as of Monday, despite Senator Violet promising 2 weeks ago that he could have delivered a draft copy for Governor Bryan's review as early as the morning after the gubernatorial debate on October 13th. Fred Gregory said the legislation would impact, quote, "every single person that chooses to live and work here." Whenever the measure does manage to make it to a vote, Senator Sarauw is confident that the legislation has the support needed to pass the Senate and be delivered to the governor for signing. However, because, according to Sarauw, the Bryan administration has not yet prepared the territory with the necessary infrastructure for a successful medicinal or recreational cannabis industry, even when the bill is signed into law, additional time will be needed to implement the measures included in the legislation, which will include a companion bill to expunge the convictions of those found guilty of marijuana-related offenses. Despite Senator Sarauw's confidence that her draft bill has the votes needed to pass, one senator whose support she knows she cannot count on is that of her running mate at the top of the ticket, Senator Kurt Violet. When pressed by Governor Bryan during the gubernatorial debate 2 weeks ago, Violet admitted that he would be voting against the measure.
I'm going to vote no. It's no secret. I've told everybody I'm going to vote no for the legalization bill, and that is a personal choice. And my colleague, my running mate, is a sponsor of that bill. But I differ.